People who downplay their own goals are typically full of shit. They're typically the people who also expect to have results yesterday. They're typically the people who are also the most frustrated about the pace or their lack of progress. But they will continue saying things like, I don't need to be the fastest, I don't need to be the best, I don't need to be a bodybuilder, I don't need to qualify for a world championship. And what they're essentially doing is preempting or avoiding or having an excuse not to go all in on their goals. And what ends up happening is they just don't do enough work to see any form of progress at all. As someone who has done this process now for years and years and multiple times, I've been absolutely shredded lean, I have done huge events, I've built a decent amount of muscle, and I've also helped countless other people get in shape, build a strong physique, and also take on events. I can tell you, if you are negotiating the process before you've even earned the right to do so, and before you've even gone all in for multiple months, then you're not going to get anywhere. It baffles me that some people will either start a coaching program or a training block or a prep or even a transformation, and they go into the process already negotiating things, like negotiating whether they can still drink alcohol every week, negotiating if they can still eat out as they please, negotiating how flexible their training might be, negotiating how much work they have to do. Like, you have decided to commit to your own personal development, improving yourself, potentially changing the direction of your life, which happened to a lot of my clients who have gone all in on their training and their own goals. And you go into this process and you already want to give yourself a reason to continue entertaining the habits that have actually stopped you in the past from getting the results you want. It's diabolical. It's stupid. I've shied away from saying this for a very long time publicly, but the clients who work with me who get great results, like actually great results, first of all, are the ones who commit to the process long term. Some of my longest standing clients have been with me for over 2 years. They negotiate absolutely zero what it takes. They just do whatever it takes to get there. And if they do have weeks or periods where they are more flexible, or maybe they do pull back on the training, they take full ownership over it and accept that they might not make as much progress in this period, being with one foot in, one foot out, and only doing half of what's required because the rest might just not be necessary for them, or it's too professional for them because their goals aren't that big. It doesn't matter. If you downplay your goals, you're just not going to be doing the work that is required to see any change whatsoever. Doing a marathon is a marathon. Doesn't matter if it takes you 5 hours to do it or 3 hours. The work that is required and the work that goes into it is the same. The same goes for a physique goal. The only difference between, let's say, losing weight and getting lean and getting shredded is the time you spend doing the things. Like, fat loss for a gen pop person and a bodybuilder is the same process. They both need to hit their targets every day. They both need to eat the same fucking boring meals every day. They both need to be pretty much equally anal with what they're doing. The only difference is that the bodybuilder will likely do it for a much longer period. And the difficulty of being hungry or sticking to certain shit is going to get harder, obviously, the longer you do it. I can tell you from my own experience, between running my first marathon, where I went for a sub 350, and my current marathon prep, where I'm aiming for a sub 310, the work and the process is the same. I had to work just as hard 4 years ago as I do now. I would even argue I had to work harder back then because I wasn't as fit, I wasn't as experienced, and I had absolutely zero proof that I could do or I could achieve the goal that I had set for myself. And just because my time back then wasn't as fast as it is now, doesn't mean that it has less importance or less relevance or that it requires less work. You're just downplaying your own goals, and with every goal that I do, with every goal that I set for myself, with every prep that I do for my own performance, I need to go into every prep like an absolute beginner. Like, it's hard, I need to hit all of my sessions, I need to be organized. There's a different and a new level of effort that comes with all the goals that you want to be hitting. And I have never looked at my goal and said to myself, yeah, but I'm just aiming for X and that's slower than this person or that person, which means it's less important and I don't need to be that professional, or I don't need to be as rigid to get there. You need to be looking at your goals and actually treat them with the seriousness that they deserve and respect the work that goes into them.